Alright, guys, I want to redo this recording because we didn't even get to talk to them about the saucy stuff. So let's redo this. Right, so obviously there was a Republican by the name of Kari Lake. She gave an interview with 60 Minutes, Australian current affairs program, and she absolutely filleted them. Now, the Australian media is treating this like she's off the cut nuts. But let's break it all down. So, Kari Lake, a Republican running for governor in Arizona. By the way, if you're in Arizona, you might want to vote for this girl. She's crazy good. Savaged the conduct of veteran Australian journalist Liam Bartlett during a fiery video leaked online. Now, this in itself is interesting, right? Because they're going on a Republican governor. She has 30 years experience in the media. You're setting him up as a veteran Australian journalist, and her as just running for governor. Right? They overemphasize his credentials, diminish her credentials to make it seem like he is actually more trustworthy because he has all this experience, when the fact of the matter is she also has 30 years experience in the media herself. Miss Lake walked out of the interview in protest, accusing the Australian journalist of being biased and a joke. I agree with them. Mr. Bartlett, who works the current affair program 60 Minutes, conducted the fiery interview on Zoom. The 25-minute interview has started respectfully enough before Miss Bartlett accused the Trump-backed Republican of xenophobia and perpetrating conspiracy theories. Kari Lake, a Republican running for governor of Arizona, has savaged the conduct of the veteran Australian journalist Liam Bartlett during the fiery interview. Right. So here's the right-wing American politician backed by Donald Trump claims the Australia is running COVID internment camps and has no democratic rights without the guns off the wall video. Right. So let's just address this. Australian Army forcibly throws COVID-exposed citizens into quarantine camps. And better off, here is the Northern Territory Premier talking about doing it.
As you know, last night we took urgent action to escalate our response in these communities, immediately implementing a hard lockdown. That means residents of Binjari and Rockhole no longer have the 5 reasons to leave their home. They can only leave for medical treatment in an emergency or if required by law. It's highly likely that more residents will be transferred to Howard Springs today, either as positive cases or close contacts.
Positive cases or close contacts get you put in a quarantine camp. Do I need to look up the definition of internment camp? Internment camp is where you intern people into a camp. Guess what you're doing? You're interning COVID patients, possible COVID people, not even guaranteed, possible close contact people into a camp. But the Australian media is like, that doesn't happen. Okay, here's the Northern Territory Premier talking about doing it.
Already identified 38 close contacts in Binjari, and that number will go up. Those 38 are being transferred now.
38 close contacts have just been interned in a camp by the military. But internment camps never happen, says the media. So, just clicked by accident. So, Republican Kari Lake, who's backed by former President Donald Trump, sat down with a veteran Australian 60 Minutes reporter, which she's also a veteran reporter too, by the way. Good to see you leaving that out. Liam back for an interview over Zoom as part of this segment about the Australian political system. By the 25-minute exchange, quickly descended into chaos with Miss Lake, who is running for governor of Arizona, walking out and claiming him as an insane person. Miss Lake began her absurd claims the Australian Bartlett began grilling her about the 2020 election and the riots at the Capitol. He actually asked her 3 times about this. The same question 3 times. She said she gave him 15. She had 15 minutes. He said it was promised half an hour. She said she had 15. And he literally spent those 15 minutes, or wasting those 15 minutes, talking about the Capitol Hill riots 3 times. Because that's what they want. They want that soundbite. They want her to say something that they can twist into a narrative, right? And in fact, we have the full video here. Well, this is not the full video, but this is the exchange. I've been trying to find the full video. Does go for 25 minutes. We might do a whole breakdown of that if I can find it. If someone knows where it is, link in the comment section below. I'll give you a little gold star.
Well, do you think they should be pardoned? Do you think they should be pardoned?
I have no say in that. I'm running for governor. This isn't something a governor does. You're trying to twist this interview and trying to make me look bad.
You're a Republican. He's the Republican leader.
What I don't like is that people are being held in prison without being charged. That's un-American. Maybe they get away with that stuff in Australia. Perhaps in Australia, because you've given your rights away, you melted down all of your guns, and you guys have no freedom, that you find that okay. But here in America, we do things differently. We have something called the U.S. Constitution, and we have rights. And we don't take kindly. Kindly on Americans being locked up for months on end without being charged. So charge them or get off the pot.
So we'd be better off having more guns here. I mean, what?
Yeah, you would. You absolutely would, sir. You absolutely would. I feel so sorry for the people in Australia. Have no power. The only thing keeping us from being Australia right now, or Canada, is our Second Amendment. And we will never, ever let that go. Mark my words. What we saw happening in Australia, where you have internment camps and people are being forced, if they've encountered anybody with COVID, to be locked into a quarantine camp, is the most horrifying thing I think I've ever seen a government do. It's frightening. And if you can't see that, I feel sorry for you.
Where's the lie? We've already shown Australia did actually do what she said. Right? And as for the guns, every dictator that has ever rose to power, the first thing they did before they try and take power was get rid of people's guns. Why? Because guess what? If you've got a whole bunch of guns running around with your citizens, your government is going to do the two-step thing. They're going to sit there and think, you know, we could probably try and be authoritarian, but these MFs are armed. I think it was the truckies over in Canada. The Canadian government was even worried about the truckies possibly being armed. And that gave them cause to do the two-step thing. Canada, where they have, like, real strict gun laws, they were still worried the truckies might be armed. And they should be. The video explosive argument, which leaked online, shows Lake slamming Australia for its mask mandates and continuing building their guns. The footage was filmed by Miss Lake's husband, Jeff Harplin, and a condition of the interview, and quickly began circulating right-wing websites. Thank God she had the brains to do this. The conversation started off smoothly before Miss Lake turned intense when Miss Bartlett called into the question the politicians' debunked accusation of the 2020 election was rigged. Okay, so let's talk about that. Because the Pennsylvania court has just ruled that mail-in voting was unconstitutional. A court declared Friday that the Pennsylvania expansive 2-year-old mail-in voting law violates the state constitution. What happened 2 years ago that... I know. They literally have said that mail-in voting is unconstitutional. Agreeing with challenges by Republicans, Pennsylvania, the swing state that I believe went to Biden, who won? Wow, look, there you go, hey? He won it by 1.2%. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So the Miss Lake insisted they have not looked at the evidence. It's not what looked at in the evidence. So on the broad scope, right across the US, you've had election officials, you've had court officials, you've had judges. Look at this, Bartlett said, countering the... No, they haven't. The Supreme Court refused to look at it. Miss Lake insisted they've not looked at the evidence. They've not looked at the evidence. There's been no evidence. No evidence is presented in a single court of law. Well, really? Because we just got some right here. And if Pennsylvania is saying that, what about all the other states? New York, California, what about all the other swing states? How many of those had unconstitutional mail-in voting? So it's really rich, she says, it's really rich for Australian coming here trying to tell us how our elections were run. You haven't done your homework either. Which she's right, he hasn't. So, obviously, we've already talked about the rest of this. We showed you the video. She basically calls him a joke. Right? And obviously, the mainstream media is doing their bit to protect the establishment. So, here's the thing. So, this is Sky News. This is the part I really want to get to. Sky News Australia has ran this story. Right? This is how I heard about it. Read the replies here. First one. She's absolutely did the right thing. Don't argue with potatoes. Second one, Liam was only interested in fishing for excuses to push an anti-Trump agenda. She did the damn right. She was damn right about the politicians and media and propaganda here in Australia. Third one, yep, that's the standard of journalists here in Australia. I haven't watched TV since 2011. Fourth one, she's perfectly right, saying the broadcasters like Liam are a joke and will be out of a job long before. But that's what she says in the interview too. She says that the American people no longer watch mainstream media and that the reason why is because of this pushing a narrative and that he's on borrowed time if he's going to keep doing this. Fifth one, fair play to the woman. She handled him. Sixth one, the fact that she was smart enough to film the interview for her setup with the filming is perfectly makes a decent candidate. Seventh one, she's totally correct. 60 Minutes. I haven't found one yet who is backing 60 Minutes on this. Eighth one, the Australian, I can confirm this is the caliber of our mainstream media. Ninth one, she nailed him. 10th one, this is, what a woman, she is right. 11th one, this is exactly what you should this is exactly how you should treat the corporate media. 12th one, it's like you see he's glaring, turning, so it's like you can see he's gears turning when she's asking about him asking his children. I want to watch this whole video, I really do. Carly is right, 13th. 14th, she actually, she so insisted of actually interviewing her, he forced his own bias. 15, I apologize for our media. 16, I love her response. 17th, she's a better debater. 18th, I live in Australia. Sad but true. 100% correct. No one is supporting you on this. Everybody is saying that you are full of it and she is absolutely right to call you out. Not one person has jumped into this. Here's another one. It's considered a joke. The lady is correct. How many of these excuses or any of these people backing you up do I need to point out? Well stated, Carly. She didn't walk out. The time was up. Yeah, she gave him 15 minutes. He went for 25. Another one. Hit the nail on the head. She's really smart to do this. Like, it's just everybody. God bless this woman. Bartlett got owned. The Australian, and I back your judgment. Like, how much of this do you need to read to think there might be a problem with the mainstream media here in Australia? You go, girl. She couldn't be more right. And this is an Australian news channel. This is Sky News Australia. This isn't like a whole bunch of Americans sitting there typing on their keyboard. Half of the Americans wouldn't even know about Sky News Australia. I really would like to see the like to dislike. Let's see if... So, there are 78 dislikes. And there are 6.5 thousand likes. Let me show you this. Yeah. 78 dislikes, 6.5k likes. Do you think that maybe the Australian media might be the problem here? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's... And it's funny, right? You talk to these people who are in this media bubble, and they would think that she's delusional. They have no idea that the massive amount of people out there actually disagree with them, and they would actually agree with her. I can't bump into someone a day without them going on about how much they hate mainstream media. And that's just how much of it comes up in conversation without me even asking. If I did a poll, maybe I should do that one day. What do you guys reckon? Like a person on the street. I'll just go down to like a main street of like some suburb or some city. I'll have to be when I travel. And that way I don't dox myself. And just literally ask someone, just ask like 1,000 people their thoughts on the media. Be interesting. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Obviously, this video has been helpful. Please smack that news button. If you like this video, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I love this Kari Lake for governor. You go, girl, and hopefully you win, because I tell you what, this is, yeah, it's definitely needed. But let me know what your thoughts are, and apart from that, guys, have a great night and enjoy.